It's 9:21, this is BBC Radio Wales. Is it time to get on with fracking? The House of Lords Committee seems to think so, but most of you say no. All industrial processes pollute, says John. The fracked gas could be exported. Thanks for that text message. I'm against it, says Maldwin in Blackwood. The way to solve our energy problem is solar power. One expert in solar power says if every south-facing home in Great Britain had solar panels on their roofs, our energy crisis would be over. Is that true? 03700 100 110 is the number. Here's Gareth in Pencoed. Hello, Gareth.
Good morning, Ollie.
Good morning. Are you a bit of an expert on this, you?
No, I'm not an expert, but I've taken an interest in the matter for several years, about renewable and sustainable energy.
And what do you believe? Where do you fall down on fracking? You for or against?
Well, I see this as this fracking sort of operation as an ideal opportunity for the filthy rich to get even filthy richer, And that's what it's all about, Because, I'm familiar with Richard, one of the earlier callers on this matter, and I'm more in favour of the renewable, sustainable, green energy production, which we can do quite easily, and we have the facilities right here and now.
But you're another conspiracy theorist, are you, when it comes to the Lords getting behind it?
Well, what Groucho Marx said, wherever there's a scheme going, there's a schemer,
Yeah, okay.
And I contacted the Edinburgh councillors, and I spoke to a gentleman there, which took a lot of interest in what I was suggesting, that they should take up the mantle and by way of constructing anaerobic digesters, we can put all our bio-waste in there, our waste food, our farmyard slurry, all the abattoir waste, into these machines and produce cheap gas and electricity, putting it into the grid system, becoming energy providers to people in the borough, probably reducing the average cost, which we now pay by about 25%, and as I say, that creates a more democratic approach to the production of energy.
Well, that's not going to solve. Sorry, Gareth, but that's not going to solve the industry's requirements for energy, is it? It may work on a small level, but we've still got to solve the big question.
Well, we're a small country, and in larger countries, this system is working remarkably well. Except that, these other countries obviously don't have the extreme capitalists that we have in this country to see an opportunity to, as I say, to become even more filthy richer.
The trouble is, though, and this is a simple, I just did a very quick Google search for what happens when anaerobic digestion plants are proposed, and I come up with protests here in Ramsbottom, in Knutsford, in Stafford, where when anaerobic digestion is proposed for somewhere, people don't want that in their backyard either.
I'm not too concerned about Knutsford and all the other places.
Well, no, but the point
concerned with my own backyard.
Yeah, but the point I make is that whatever solution you come up with, people are going to be opposed to it. Some people are going to be opposed to it.
Well, I'm sure they will be, and until they're educated to these systems, and I suggest you tap in organic power. You'd be very much surprised what you find,
There's another one here, actually, in Swansea, that there was a proposal, apparently, for an anaerobic digester in the Gower area, and people were up in arms.
Well, have a look at organic power in Wincanton in Somerset, where it's been in use for many, many years, successfully.
Dave, what about you, Dave? Fracking. Hi, Dave.
Well, it's a short-term answer to an eternal problem, isn't it? I mean, we have to keep our people warm, we have to keep a standard of lifestyle, and for that we need electricity and gas, although I see the end of gas. But it's a finite resource, and if we can access it with minimum amount of disruption, so much the better.
What if they were doing it in Penpederail, Dave? How would you feel? What if they're doing it in Penpederail?
I have to live with it. I mean, we've got to look at the greater good, haven't we? That I'm not the only person on the planet. There are other people who are struggling to pay energy bills because we are importing stuff and increasing the cost. And it is all about keeping the majority of us warm and safe. And the thing is, we must use the resources we have. But But we must also bear in mind that fracking is a finite resource, and we must continue research into better ways of providing the energy for the 50, 100 years' time in the country. I mean, we're an island. We've got the sea with the tides. We get a little sun. We've got wind. We've got rivers. I mean, research must go on into these, and I would like us to be self-sufficient in energy needs.
Dave, thank you. Gareth, I mean, on that, short topic bit, how soon do you reckon we could be up and running with anaerobic digesters?
Well, as I said, it's the cheapest form of construction in relation to the production of energy, much, much, much cheaper than the wind farms that's been proposed, etc. Like I said, it's green energy. It's all around us. We're walking all over it. It's sustainable. It's renewable. We don't have to rely on other sources in other countries to get our energy. We can't keep raping this planet, if you pardon the expression, because that's all we're doing. We have to use what's around us, what's available. It's the cheapest form of that you can use for the production of energy. And when you look at the billions of tons of waste, particularly in the food area, let alone anything else, in this country every year, we are just throwing money away.
Thank you, Gareth. Thank you, Dave, as well. This text message says another supporter of tidal energy. If we build half a dozen lagoon-type barrages for power generation, we'd not be rushing into fracking. With all the dithering, we'll be back to candles before too long. Why should Wales's resources be exploited by the UK government without benefit to the people of Wales, says Oshan in Pontypridd. It's easy for them to take our resources and then call us poor. 03700 100 110. Should we get fracking here in Wales? Is it time to get on with it? Is that the solution to energy security and the spiralling cost of heating our homes? 03700 100 110 is the number. Here's Ben As with the weather forecast.